Pastors are now being told to prepare for a Bible changing event. In fact, many of them are all over social media right now, and some are kind of freaking out over the information that they just heard. Now, according to them, there was a secret meeting in Tennessee with the six of them. They were not allowed to bring any phones or recording devices, but the meeting was held with supposedly people that are linked to the intelligence community still, whether or not they're still employed with the government, nobody knows. And reportedly also one congressman called into the meeting, and that was actually Eric Burleson. He's a congressman from Missouri. He called in. He doesn't know who was in attendance or what was said, but he called in and made a statement. But anyway, all of this is now going viral on the internet in light of the UAP UFO disclosure that is up and coming. And this is what that meeting was all about. Now, before I even dive into this meeting, what makes this even more interesting is Kash Patel just came out and dropped a bombshell of his own when he was in an interview with Sean Hannity. And I'm going to let Kash Patel tell you the dealings here. But here he is talking about UFOs with Sean Hannity. Take a listen to what he says here.
Every other president before President Trump could have said, hey, let's look at that and get the American people the information. What did he do? He stood up an interagency process with Department of War leading that effort to get out the documentation related to everything that you're talking about, not just from the FBI, from the IC and everywhere else. And so what do? We already delivered our first tranche of information to that committee, and they're going to be publicly releasing this information very soon.
Wow. They are going to be publicly releasing the information very soon. In other words, Kash Patel said, okay, Donald Trump, you want UFO files? Here's what we have from the FBI. Here is our first trunks of information. Now, there are reports that we're going to be getting this information in July. Hopefully it comes sooner, but considering the history, it could be prolonged as well. But either way, the president has his hands on some of that information. And let's just hope it's not like the last file release from the FBI. But either way, that is what we have. Now, kind of moving on to the pastors here, the big question is, okay, Kash Patel has delivered a trove of information to the FBI. I still want information from Area 51 and other things. But anyway, I digress. With all of that in the hands of the president, we now have pastors all over saying, you know, we just had this secret meeting. They're about to disclose something huge. Take a look at this. And this is on Daily Mail. Religious leaders told to prepare now for UFO disclosure to unleash Bible-changing revelations. Now, again, this included pastors, and approximately 6 pastors were in on this, and I'm going to read you that part. This reported meeting involved approximately 6 Christian leaders, including Bishop Alan Ditto of Revival Nation Church, who confirmed he was part of the extraordinary gathering. Ditto actually said this. It seems like half of a dozen people were gathered in an Airbnb in the mountains of Tennessee discussing an investigation that's going on in the U.S. government against crimes they have committed in the process of retrieving and reverse engineering technology from non-human intelligence. I believe UFOs are legit. I believe they're interdimensional. I believe they're fallen angels, demons, and the whole 9 yards. But anyway, I do believe that they're using that technology and reverse engineering it. But he goes on to state that the meeting also went forward to discuss the propaganda plan that was in place leading up to disclosure. The pastor added in a March 7th live stream on YouTube. So there you go. Now here is the pastor, Alan Ditto, who made that statement that I just stated. He's got this whole video on it here, and he basically says, I was brought into a private meeting with other pastors. He wasn't allowed to record anything, and he says disclosure is coming and many are going to be prepared for what follows. Pastors must begin preparing their flock. And he puts this 40-minute video out regarding that whole thing. But that's one of the things that I wanted to show you regarding all of this, that evidently this is a meeting that did happen. Now there's another video that has come out regarding these pastors and what reportedly was said. And I want to show you this. This is on Shadow of Ezra, and he shares this clip of a man saying, he knows or heard about these pastors at this meeting. Take a listen to what is said here. And I'm going to add to it at the end, but take a listen.
A handful of pastors are invited to come to a private meeting with a group of men who are connected with the intelligence world that are believers, but are still have very high security clearance. These are legit, true men of God that are still connected to Washington and even this current administration and all branches of military.
Okay. So there is no way for us to confirm who was all at the meeting regarding whether or not they are actually connected to the IC. These are men, still potentially involved with the military and the United States government. I don't know. There's no way for us really to know. Nothing was recorded. Nothing was jotted. But this is reportedly the claim being made by some of the pastors. But here he goes on to say or details what he's been told.
And they literally told us, we had a sitting congressman, a very well-known congressman from Missouri. He called into that meeting as well. That was just for pastors. And this is what he said. On speakerphone, this sitting powerful member of Congress said, "Are the pastors listening to me?" I'm getting chills right now because this happened to me. He said, "Are the pastors in the room listening to me?" And I said, "Yes, sir, we are here." And he said, "Listen to me. Go and tell the church they are not ready for what is coming. Narrative that is coming, what they are going to say is going to be like nothing you can even imagine. They are preparing to tell us that they are from another dimension, that they are our creator, and that these beings, these aliens, or whatever you want to call them, they were the ones that seeded us here. There is no such thing as God. Jesus was invented by them. The Bible was invented by them." And begin to just say, listen, prepare the people for what is coming because they're not ready.
Pretty intense, right? So